First of all, I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing frogs.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Akash Persaud, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go along that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I got nothing.
Calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Come on, Lou Taylor. That's good. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective,
Yes,
but
okay,
an
it's good to-
erratic
Mikhail
detective, is Mikhail Rodriguez.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, how you deal with that? You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
You apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that.
We got anything?
Hi there. Good evening. This is a live program. We're coming to you live from the studio of Daybreak News in Looney Street in Queenstown. We have been here the past 2 years, 6 weeks. This is the Freddie Kissoon Show with Akash Persaud, who has been here since February. He has replaced Leonard Gildari. Gildari has gone to greener pastures. He's expanding his business involvement. We would like to have him occasionally on the program. That is up to him. So it's a calling program as usual, and we have learned a lot from these call-ins. Please call in and express how you feel about anything. Once you make sure you don't get us a libel. I don't have money. I can't speak for Akash Persaud. Look at my hair. I'm an old man. As my mother said, she's unable to climb step. I'm unable to climb high court step. So call in and please avoid any scurrilous language, any unsavory adjectives to describe people. So the lines will be open after we show you our videos. Siraj will be here, but he's a member of parliament. He's advisor to the local government ministry. He is the deputy chairman of the water board, GWI. We will nickname him tonight. Chocolate Man. And I will tell you why we will nickname him Chocolate Man when he comes. So he will be here a little bit, he's a little bit late. So Siraj will be here this evening, and water is a problem. And that's why we will nickname him Chocolate Man, because the water is brown. The water is discolored. Remind me of the 70s. The water is discolored. But I'm sure Siraj has an explanation. So we will show you some videos. One of them is the company Mahaika Meadows. The CEO and the marketing manager were our guests. They have started a private housing estate at Unity Mahaika. And when they came here, they advertised it. They spent an hour advertising the housing estate, and they went to the building site. When they came here last week, they had a few sales. A lot is going at 5 million, quite a large piece of land. And since then, they were at the Building Expo, and all their lots have been sold out. They said to us that people came up to them, said they heard about the low price at the show and what have you. And so they have sent us a thank you message. You will see that just now. The man is still sleeping at the seawall. I go there every night. Believe you me, I go there every night. The seawall is in my DNA. It reminds me of my dad. The man is still sleeping at the seawall, but I got news for you. Remember we showed you the bench where the man covered up the bench? The man has extended that coverage. Wow. Yesterday, there were quite a lot of people there sitting on benches, and they couldn't sit in that bench because a man has taken over that bench. And of course, as I told you, the police said they can't touch him. So the police can't touch him, but the police can tell people they're parking badly and harass them at that same seawall place. So nothing has happened with the man who is sleeping on the hammock, and nothing has been done with the man who's taken over the bench. So good night to Akash Persaud. Akash, is there anything you want to take over in Guyana? I was thinking
Freddie,
to carry some homeless people and let them take over part of the seawall.
But anybody could extend his more real estate.
Yeah, yes, he's put larger coverings on the bench. I saw it yesterday. I was right there with my dog.
Maybe you got a bed and breakfast.
There's a huge piece of red tarpaulin that he has extended on the bench.
But on that,
but you know, I can't understand Ravin Singh. We had Ravin Singh here as the guest, and we called Ravin Singh, and at least Ravin could have contacted us and say, I've spoken to Mr. Singh, or spoken to Mr. Jones, something will be done. We spoke to Ravin Singh about 2 weeks ago, but despite my support for this government, I had my admiration for Anil Nandalal and the president, things still go astray in this place. But let's show you some video. I will hand you over to Akash, the more technical man than me. All I can do is open my mouth. So after that, just call in. Remember the title of the program tonight, call in and support locals. I have something to tell you about people supporting local. Akash, when I look at the people shopping at Marseille, I think it's going to be very hard to get people to buy local. When they go in there and they see the ocean of goods in those supermarkets, different type of corned beefs, different type of juices, I think they're fascinated. So they don't worry with Bihari pasta. They don't worry with
But also, Freddie, let's look at it from a marketing perspective. Packaging and all these things has a lot to do with it, and the packaging of the other products, I dare say, I've seen them in the market sometimes, are much more appealing. And I think that's where the game has to be lifted in terms of what we package our products, the way we present our products. Because when you look at you might look at a product that is worse than the one that we have here is local, but the way it is packaged and the way it is presented sometimes.
No, but we have a psychological colonial problem with patronizing our own. When you look at when you look at the appearance of DDL juice at $305. And Nestle is $995, and it has chemicals inside that. When I look at these people shopping at Marseille, and I see when they go to one shelf and they see those shelves with those things, I think they want to buy it.
A businessman contacted me today who was doing local products, and he said that he has some local products that he'll bring and give it to us for us to showcase and for us to sample, and we can talk about it on the show. So I told him I think he does plantain chips and so, but
any local person.
So he's gonna bring it.
Local person come on this program. You don't have to come for the hour. You come for 5 minutes, come for 10 minutes, and bring your product. What I wanted to do this evening was to bring some products. Akash. I think I'm a little expert. You don't have to talk to my wife when we lived in Canada what I ate. I think I'm a little expert in ice cream and chocolate. Chocolate Man is here?
Yeah.
We have Chocolate Man is here. He doesn't know why we calling him Chocolate Man. But when he come and before we take the call, we will tell you why we calling him chocolate. Well, you know why we calling him chocolate man, because we already announced that. He doesn't know why we calling him chocolate man. So we will tell him why we calling him chocolate man.
Good night.
Your favorite member of parliament is here. Dharam Kumar Siraj. So let's
Good evening, viewers.
let's
You know, Freddie, you know, Kumar means prince. And what does Dharam?
no, the man has always been a prince.
And what does Dharam mean again? Dharam means prince for life, right?
No.
Dharam Kumar.
Dharam means eternal.
principle.
I mean, principle is one.
Integrity, yeah.
Oh, good. You see, that's why
There's
the
a
man
book
is.
name.
It's a book name, Freddie. Freddie, you got a book name?
Well, my book name? My book name is Freddie Kissoon. So Chocolate Man is here. He doesn't know why we calling him Chocolate Man, but we will tell him.
That's quite interesting.
So let's tell him why we gave him the name Chocolate Man before he. If you read the papers today, and if you've been talking to people, the water is chocolate color in the taps now. I am sure he has an explanation, but
That's putting it very nicely. Chocolate, I was thinking something pleasant.
chocolate. I should say chocolate color.
I mean, how can you associate that the nasty, rusty color with chocolate? Chocolate is a nice thing.
Well, I'm talking with the color.
But Carl said it, the rusty man coming in.
The rusty man coming. When he gave it, well, you know, to the press today, and GWI held the press conference, and I thought you would have been there. But
I pick my fights.
before we show you the video, what is going on when you turn on this tap and you're getting brown dye, which reminds me of the 70s and 80s under Burnham.
Right.
Anyway, Rusty Man, what's up?
Well, it's a temporary setback, you know, the technicians call it torpidity, but what really it is a lot of sediments, because Georgetown, 95% of the water is surface water that you source from the East Amarawat Conservancy through the Lama Canal to Shelter Belt,
Right.
where it is treated and you take out all the sediments and the organic matter and treat it with alum and other chemicals to make it clear like this one that you're drinking. So because of the amount of rainfall that was taking place and some amount of work in the canal, the amount of sediments in the waters increased. And at the same time, expected shipment of aluminum that was supposed to come in, that was bought because you have what it's called supply chain issue. A lot of ships coming in late, containers coming late, and all of that. So there was a shipment that was coming in from Suriname, came in a bit late, so that situation will be corrected. If not corrected already, it's in an advanced way of getting corrected. So it's not a matter of where the water has any harmful bacteria or fungus or anything like that, or virus, as you might say, but it's a matter of that it was not treated to take the color out of it and make it as good as this one here.
Okay.
Yeah. It says, I think the company held a press conference today and they explained some of these issues, and like I said, because it's all surface water, you have this problem affecting so many many residents. And Georgetown, of course, is about 1/3 of the population, you know, or going on to about 250,000 people here.
Yeah.
1/3 of the population.
Correct. So they were affected, and you know, and GWI have not had this problem for many years here in Georgetown. You've had periodic interruption of services and all of that due to power outages, because you depend on these pumps and so on. So sometimes it's a GPL problem, sometimes it's a GWI problem. And it's not a case where the procurement department is not working. It's a case whereby the shipment simply came in late for the materials that are needed to treat the water.
Okay, so the phone, there are 2 WhatsApp number.
No, we know Prince yet, Freddie. I want to show this video.
Before I'll just tell you again, there are 2 WhatsApp number. You know when it's time to call in because you know we show the video. So here are our videos, and then you can call Rusty Man and talk to him.
So, you know, guys, as Mr. Kissoon mentioned just now about the 2 people that came here from Mahaica Meadows. So I visited them at the Building Expo, and they asked me to do an interview with them because they were, when I went there, Freddie, they were showing me some dots on these things. I said, what's the dots for? They said, all those houses that you see there with the dots are sold already. While I was standing there, there were three young girls, the three sisters going to be coming singing on the show. Man, if you see how the confidence in which they were dealing with things and selling people and so on. So here's a video that we did, that I did with them, and let's listen in a bit.
I'm with Mr. Joe Jaglal and Sunanda Dana. I'm privileged to be out here at the Building Expo. I'm with Mr. Joe Jaglal and Sunanda Dana. And I feel really honored to be standing here with them because, as you know, being the co-host of the Freddie Kissoon show, they were with us a few nights ago, and we spoke about this place. And it's all right. The wonderful opportunities that I see arising here is exactly what I envisioned happening on the show, because I can, I really believe that you guys are doing something really amazing here.
So much. I mean, it's a privilege for us to have you here coming out to visit our booth. I know that we did have a wonderful interview with you and Freddie a few days ago. And now to actually have you here at our booth, taking a look firsthand at all of the quality work that we've brought to Guyana. It's
Stop
amazing.
Right there, Sananda. I don't know if this is a fake. This man get no tie.
No tie.
Look at it. Look. I mean, I know the hairstyle is there, but where's the tie, brother?
Man, I came to tie up some business here. But Joe, tell me, what has been the response like?
The response, you called it right.
Yeah, I have this one.
You called it right. You and Freddie called it right. What did you say? Joe, this is going to be gone by this weekend.
Yeah, he
right?
said it's going to sell like hotcakes.
Like
and
hotcakes.
literally, look at the board.
The board at the back, you came and you saw it.
So many red dots.
The dots that are there. And it is, Akash, it is for the right reasons, as you said, and Freddie talked about too. Affordability, comfort, luxury, and security.
Right, exactly.
And those are the things that we offered. Now, the affordability part of it, we are comparing, not we, but Guyanese, the people who are living here, comes to us and says, my God, that's an introductory price. We better get in. And before anybody came this morning, I sold 2 and 3 lots already.
Exactly.
I didn't even do any selling.
Remember, Akash told us on that program, he can't believe how affordable the lots are. And that is the response that we're getting from everyone that visits our booth,
Yes.
Everybody that's come here, they're blown away by the price and what they're getting for that price.
Yes,
Bang for their buck.
Yes. They're getting out their bang for their buck. For us, Akash, coming to Guyana has been a wonderful experience because this is the first international building expo that we're part of at this magnitude in this, and we're collaborating with Guyana, One Guyana. We're collaborating with some of the contractors, and we're bringing in, what we're bringing is a system to the Guyanese people that we will deliver. So far, you and I, we talked about it. We said to people, we are going to clear the land by the end of August. We are 1 month ahead of schedule. Wow. The Regis contracting, 1 month ahead of schedule. So all of our deadlines, that was important. I can't come to you, Akash, and said, I'll pick you up at 4 o'clock. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock, I'm not there to pick you up.
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
It's unethical.
It's unethical in many ways. So I want to say.
So, through our program, he said he has sold out. So at least we did something for someone in this world. So what other videos we have? We'll open the lines after we
Guys, viewers, we really want to thank you for joining us and staying with us for all this time. You make the show what it is. From time to time, we would show things to you that may seem as if we were attacking anybody or so, but unless you bring these things to the fore, they will not be fixed. As you all would know, we've been showing on this very show the garbage in front of Georgetown Hospital, where Mr. Kissoon thinks that there might be a monster living under there from the Stephen King movie, the Thing. Under there, and we have been showing it. And
Graveyard Shift is the name of the movie.
Graveyard Shift.
Graveyard Shift.
The Graveyard Shift. And this is. I'll just show you a little bit of that. What's happening there?
So people just take their old stuff, refrigerators and crates and so on. They dump it here.
This is in front of the
It's
GP.
getting bigger and bigger. I believe this is it's becoming more of a public risk every day. And well, here it is. I was told this is here over a year now.
So, it's been there over a year now, but I received a call today that, and perhaps because of our advocacy, that it will be clean tomorrow. And I want to call that man on the phone right now before we get started tonight. I want to call him, call this man, Walter Narine, who will be spearheading that operation.
Management manager.
Yeah, he'll be spearheading that tomorrow morning. I want to hear from him exactly what's happening. Walter, I hope you're watching, and let's see if we can get a call from you. I have it here. Good evening, Walter. This is good. This is Akash. You're live on the Freddie Kissoon show. I just showed I just showed a little clip of the garbage in front of the hospital, and I said on the show just now that you called me today to say that you guys are going to be going there tomorrow to clean up this. Walter, tell us what's happening tomorrow.
Okay, so tomorrow is the
17th.
The 9 times the National Enhancement Committee that was formed by His Excellency the President of Guyana will be doing a cleanup countrywide. Right? So the task that we had to do is identify spots within the city that needs to be addressed urgently. And the site opposite the Georgian Hospital has been there for some time, and you have been advocating for it week after week. Is one of the sites that we have identified to be cleaned thoroughly. As you know, it's a private land owned by a prominent person in society. So it will be cleaned completely tomorrow through efforts of the private sector coming on board with the Enhancement Committee. And after that, it will also be fenced.
Okay.
And when it's fenced, we'll also erect some no dumping signs. There, and we are hopeful that the owner of that land will develop that land as soon as, right? Because you're aware that a lot of vendors are around there, and I don't know for what reason people were dumping there.
Right.
So we are very hopeful that after tomorrow's exercise and it's fenced, and we put regular no dumping signs, then people will stop this bad habit of dumping at any open space you have in the city. Right. So that effort will be done, and for Akash also, I would like to let the viewers know that this effort has been headed. It will be spearheaded by His Excellency tomorrow. He will be out on the ground.
Brilliant.
As well as his cabinet ministers.
Well,
they'll all be there at different sites. We have 16 sites that will be clearing tomorrow.
Well, I'll be coming tomorrow morning at 6:30 to the one at Georgian Hospital, because that one is kind of, for want of a better word, it was close to me, and I'm happy that it's going away. I don't need that. We don't need that. But Walter, look, I really want to thank you for all the efforts. I see the pictures you put up in the morning. It's heartbreaking sometimes to see these pictures when you put them up in the morning of the place clean, and then next 2 days I go back and see the same thing again. Look, we're not here to make anybody look bad. I mean, I know that there are some people, would think that we're looking bad, and we make it this thing look bad. As read the comments of our show, Auntie Geets, we only trying to do the best we could do by highlighting these problems so that we can have them fixed. And I'm so happy. It's one of our people who interact with us and so on. So it's Walter. Thank you so much, man. This really means a lot.
Before you go, there's a way of getting.
Yeah, sure.
There's a way of getting people who have empty lots and a lot of garbage in it. They don't want to fix it. There's a solution to that. Let loose some let loose some squatters or homeless people on the land, and you're so quick they can fence it. Quick.
No, so what happened? The cost for this exercise tomorrow will be placed on the owner's rates and tax, right? Because he's not going to get through with it freely. Right, so I don't understand why we're in an oil and gas economy now when people still have lands that are not used. Honestly,
but even when I use it, maintain it, man.
Walter, do something with it.
Walter, I know you well, so I think I know your age. before you were born, they have some empty lots. There's one at Main and New Market Street next to the GEC, Ghana Electricity. That place, that empty lot has been there since donkey years.
Squat.
Since GPL was GC.
Yeah. Well, nobody. Anyway, thanks for coming through.
All right, man. Thanks so much, and I will give you a call in the morning. I'll see you in the morning, and I will come to do some videos so that next week we can show it, right?
Yeah, we got to show some videos of His Excellency.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah, he'll be out tomorrow.
Thank you so much, and take care.
Any more videos?
Well, the big announcement I want to make. Cemetery Road is fully open to traffic on both sides. Fully open. It looks beautiful, man. I'll get a picture and pull it up. What do you want to say about that? I know you've been...
I want to say something about Cemetery before he comes in. The reason why that project wasn't completed on time is because you have half people.
Since the voting people them?
And people building that road saw half people in the cemetery. And it scared them. And they didn't want to work. They didn't want to work in the evenings.
Well,
they got half people.
Remember, there were half people in the parliament and in the courts.
So why you can't have people in the cemetery?
Well, you have to round it up.
So they get wround up, they get rounded up. So you think fix it, they get round up.
They get round up.
That's right. Just get round up. They round them off. They round them off.
Yeah. Look, operator, put up, man. Look, Cemetery Road. Look, beautifully done. They're gonna plant some nice plants in the middle. The graves don't look too bad. It looks decent. But Cemetery Road is complete after this was built up. This was.
I tell you what.
Well, you have to die to get in there, so you can't get in there. Just
I prefer to go to use that to get to East Bank rather than Sherry Street. Sherry Street is very, very crowded. So I'm glad that is done. But of course,
this will ease the traffic on Sheriff Street.
But
Sheriff Street was crowded because this was not
right. This
people, it could still be a bottleneck. It could still be a problem because people wouldn't want to drive through there in the nights.
No, Freddie.
Remember half
Sheriff Street. The people who drive through.
Remember half people are around.
Freddie, half people frighten me when I drive through at night. Half people frighten.
So you have people with fighting the real people.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, that's what's going on. That is what's going on. But
Sheriff Street, the street has been pounded because of Cemetery Road not being operational. With Cemetery Road now becoming operational, there will be less burden on Sheriff Street.
That's it. We will go to the phones now.
Yeah, man. Let's take some calls. Let's hear what's happening out there.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. You're live on air.
Good evening. Parliamentarian Darrell Kumar is here.
And with the same garbage situation for the past 3 weeks. No one collected the garbage in my area. 3 weeks done.
3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Annandale, is it?
Somebody could do something about this.
Right.
Annandale West.
Right. This matter was compounded by the fact that, as the chairman of the NDC would have explained to me, that he has tremendous amount of difficulties with labor forces. The labor force is very fickle. They're with you 1 week and then they're somewhere else another week. And given the labor shortage and the demand in different areas, it is very challenging to get the kind of workers to work there. A man might come and work, and once he gets some money in his pocket, then it's difficult to get him to come back there. The service provider had some issues with payments there. I think that particular NDC is moving in an advanced way to acquire their own garbage truck, not this tractor and trailer thing that is so unsanitary, but a proper garbage truck that when you put the stuff in there, it doesn't go flying all over the place when you're driving along. So I hope that the residents of Annandale, Uzikna, and that area will begin to get some relief from the pileup of garbage there also.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I look forward to that.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
All right. Thanks for coming through.
So if you're looking at us, our lines are open to WhatsApp number and our landline. They're on the screen. Call in, and as you've been doing for the past couple of weeks, talking to Siraj. Siraj
right.
would have...
we really need a holistic plan to address this issue of garbage in
I have a call coming through.
Go ahead.
Hello, good evening, caller. You're live on air.
Hi, good evening, guys. I'm really happy that I'm seeing Siraj again on this program. And I know Mr. Siraj is heading to India very soon. But just remember, Mr. Siraj, you are not to mess around any dogs in India.
Well, I'm happy to report that I have 2 dogs at home, and they, you know, I have a golden retriever and a Rottweiler, and they're both great dogs, and I take very good care of dogs.
That's just being on the funny side. But I see Akash show a picture of Cemetery Road. But I see a couple of jumbies there that I'll use initials only, right? GL, DH, AN. I have to tell you, I've seen some pictures of the Demerara Harbour Bridge, the new Demerara Harbour Bridge that is nearing completion. I'm the happiest guy living in New York.
We really need these kind of infrastructure to address our traffic woes.
Yeah, but I have to also be very, very critical of the people who are dumping garbage as if it's a part of their lifestyle. Please,
for them, it's a part of their lifestyle.
If you're listening to me and you're listening to this program, make an effort. Make an effort to keep Guyana clean. Guyana is ours. It doesn't belong to anybody. It belongs to us. You come to America, we have all come to America, so many people, and we are practicing the laws of America by keeping our streets and city clean. But you make an effort to destroy Guyana. I am hurt, and I'm hurt. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, man. Thanks for coming through, buddy.
Until another call comes in, there's something I want to say about when people go to Europe and United States. But those countries have laws that they rigorously apply, like those countries have surveillance camera. Anyway, there's a call coming in.
Let's take this caller. Caller, good night, you're on the air.
Hi, good night. I would like to make a complaint. You know, along Lamaha Street on the embankment there where the president opened his fancy walkway and whatnot.
Right.
I normally walk there doing my exercise in the afternoon. But, you know, there are 2 washrooms. I would assume it's washrooms. And they are all closed. But the homeless people take over those washrooms. And they are living in those washrooms.
Right.
So
Thank you, caller, for coming through. I think both Akash and Freddie would have been bemoaning the fact that homeless people are also taking over the newly rehabilitated bandstand there. All these nice chairs, that benches are put up there. And we have shown some videos last week of a person even slinging their hammocks between trees and occupying spaces there that are intended to bring about some amount of relaxation for, you know, the people after hard day's work, and you're like yourself also taking the opportunity to stretch your legs along what is supposed to be a pleasant walkway and a pleasant experience.
Yeah, the public can't use it. But it's there for the public, but it's taken over by these junkies there. And the thing is this, they are living there. They have the bed and the mattress and the cooking and everything there.
There is an easy solution. I mean, I don't know if it's, I'm about to say something and I don't know if it's still in existence. I used to hear my mother saying it. It's easy like kissing the palm of your hand. The First Lady by the seawall has a playground. People could, and thousands, not hundreds. If you count up the number of children every month or every 3 months, thousands of children go to that playground. And you know why people don't do nonsense in that playground? The First Lady office has employed a guy called Carl Melville. So Melville is in the playground and you can't walk on the playground with your shoes because of the type of matting they put there. And he tells people you have to take off your shoes. You can't take food into the playground. So when people come with their food, he tells them you have to leave. When you put up these walkways and these aesthetic structures. It's simple. You get the security, and the security, when they see a man come in there in dirty clothes with 5 black bags as a homeless man, and he go to spread a sheet there, you said, sir, leave. The reason why the people took over the washroom, it's Chatto's land. It's no man's land. So anybody could do anything. If you putting up these nice parks, you have to have security, else the homeless people going to take it over. That's what you said they have done.
Right. So we'll try to make some representation on this matter that you have raised, because definitely there need to be some kind of control there to ensure that people don't go and take over infrastructure that was intended to benefit residents there and visitors, and to basically be a place for recreation and for some pleasant walking. All right. Thank you, madam, for coming through.
Thank you.
Oh, great. Yeah, it is indeed a big problem for people coming out, and they started out so beautiful that it's there, and people walking about, and next thing you know, these guys gone and occupy prime real estate.
Yeah, behind the Marriott.
The rental in those areas will be very, very high if you're doing
beachfront properties.
Beachfront property.
But is it that for instance, Mr. Carl Melville, the same gentleman that Freddie talked about, the man run him with a knife?
Listen, we were there. We did the investigation, and I hope the First Lady and Ravin Singh and the police, the big boys in the police force, are listening. We were there filming him. He went to move the man living on the bench. The man pulled out a knife. He went to the police. The police told him. Police gave him some Jim Cockman good story. I went to the police and said, listen, Mr. Melville is in charge of keeping.
We have a comment through here, Freddie. Good evening, caller. You're live on air. Caller, you're live on air. Turn the device down in the background, please.
Okay. Hello. Good night.
Good evening. Yes.
Akash Persaud.
Yeah.
And Mr. Siraj.
Yes. Good night.
Isn't it true that is?
Oh, caller, we lost you. It had something to do with the internet, I guess.
Yeah.
Please,
so what the police told Melville?
The police told Melville make a report. I told him what Melville said, and Melville said that in front of the police. He said he got to come and make a report. So if you tell the police a man just
pull a knife,
right?
Okay. Good evening, caller. You're live on air.
Yeah, good night.
Go ahead.
Good night to the panel. Mr. Siraj.
Yes.
This Pancho brought up on Mahika.
Yes, go ahead.
Multi Road.
Right.
So Mahika there by where Diala dumped the party shell.
Correct, yes.
You see how many times we clean that place? Tomorrow morning we'll go clean it again. What we can do there to stop the people from dump.
We might gotta put up some camera and charge some people, because that dumping there is being done with people who are owners of vehicles.
Yeah,
these are big people. They know it's a desolate area. People don't live there, so they turn up there with their old fridge and refrigerators, their old stoves and all kind of things. So it's very difficult to stop it unless you probably put in some infrastructure there where you could actually catch them in the act, pick up their number plates, and then you move and you apply the penalty. But it's a very difficult area. Right in Georgetown, in front of the public hospital, you have difficulty controlling garbage being thrown there, much less an isolated area like that. But I agree with you. You will go and clean it tomorrow, and then by Monday morning, somebody come and dump some old mattress, an old stove, 2 refrigerators, and a freezer. So... And you can't block the road off because a lot of people still use that road.
Yeah, brother, because tomorrow morning we arrange 2 fountain loaders to help us again to clean that place.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough job because a lot of people throw these kind of household waste and even some industrial type waste. I know Kissoon bought his land there and he put the empty paddy shell that's biodegradable, and then he's putting it on his own land. and that's not really harmful to the environment and all of that. But when you throw plastic and these old air-conditioned units and old freezers and all of that, these kind of things are hazardous to the environment. So I wish you all the best. I wish you the best of luck tomorrow to get it clean and
me and the chairman, me and Victor and Rampal will go there tomorrow.
Right. Get the chairman involved and tell the chairman you may got to budget for some cameras to be installed here.
Oh, okay, brother.
All right, good. Take care, buddy.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Freddie. This is Siraj at Akash.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It relates to the previous caller who called in for America every week and the one who described Guyana, he live in America. As it relates to the garbage, I come from America Suddenly. You will check Sutphin, Liberty Avenue, Jamaica Avenue, and right round the Rockaway Boulevard, and let me tell you about the amount of garbage on the road there and the amount of radon sleeping on the pavement.
These are Guyanese communities?
Guyanese communities, Liberty Avenue, Sutphin.
Yeah, so we export our bad behavior.
No. What I'm saying is not like we describe it that we come in America and we think it's the same thing over there. You go around crazy to that and you shame to walk here.
Yeah, I know in some neighborhood when we move in, people just move out.
And the next thing with the water thing, I spent some time in Roma, I spent time in Russell. And those people use the river water. When they get to your quarters where you live, it's like crystal clear, like tropical.
Correct, because you treat the sediments, and what I was explained is that there are two canals, an eastern canal and a western canal coming from the Conservancy through Lamaha Canal to the shelter belt for processing. And like I said earlier, because of the heavy rainfall, you have some amount of washing taking place, and then they were actually cleaning this canal. So that would have accounted for the amount of what the technical people call turbidity. Turbidity is basically an elevated amount of sediments in the water, so it's very difficult to treat it. And when you take your time to treat it, you don't get the output that is required to service a huge area like Georgetown. But as was promised by Mr. Sheikh Baksh, by this weekend, and tomorrow is the weekend already, that residents will start to experience relief. So my brother, yes, we have been treating surface water for all the time for Georgetown, but just that because of this problem, which is associated with the amount of sediments in the water itself.
The government got to repossess some of these land that people own, and they are not constructing or building on it, and those land become dumping sites.
Well, the government...
All the new schemes in this country have that. All.
Yeah. Well, if people get house lot...
You can't have... Oh, you're talking about house lot?
Yeah, these house lots. The new areas, they do have some amount of empty lots. And I agree with you. Measures will be taken to repossess. Because if you have it for 5 years and you have not built on it, it means that you don't need to build on it. You're not desperate to build.
Okay.
Right, thank you for coming through. Caller, good evening, you're on the air.
Tune down your volume, please.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Freddie, you just knocked it out of the park. You call it Chato's land.
Yeah, it's a favorite movie or book for Freddie.
It's a movie with Charles Bronson.
Chato's land, Charles Bronson.
Yeah, it refers to land where anything, you can do anything. There's no law, nothing.
But Freddie, you mentioned that you were living in Canada for a period of time. Even Mr. Siraj and I don't know about Akash, but you guys have visited many other places other than Guyana. There's examples out there for Georgetown and Guyana to do better. And
correct.
They have to adapt. They have to adapt to changes.
They got to change their dirty behavior, man. People dumping and throwing and all kind of thing. They got to change their bad behavior.
But the thing, people of Guyana need leaders, and the leaders have to by putting systems in place. What systems are there for recycling, reducing, or even having a proper garbage disposal? Your MP, Mr. Siraj, What's it here?
Right. Well, we were about to get to that just before the calls start coming in, when we were saying that Guyana needs a comprehensive strategy to deal with garbage. And this is going directly to the points that you're raising, because we need to have garbage separated, like for biodegradable, for recycling, for bottles, for tins.
But in order to get to those
and
things,
organic and non-organic.
You have to implement system, and system needs money. So now you have to evaluate the properties in Georgetown. There are properties in Georgetown that are worth millions of dollars, and they pay peanuts for taxes.
You have a very good point there, Carla.
So no way you can equate when you don't have money.
Hello?
And as the saying goes, you pay. You get what you pay for.
Correct. It's a very important point, because you can't. I mean, these things. People are resisting the valuation that is needed to collect the appropriate taxes. So a lot of people come here and talk about how good it is out there, but they don't talk about how much you have to pay to keep it good like that.
Exactly. You have to pay for the services. And when you pay into the services, it's a circle of life. It comes back to you.
Correct.
Right?
And sometimes if you don't pay, you don't value it.
And going back to the water system, I know you have issues. You've been having issues, as Freddie said, since the 70s. But you have operators that are manning that plant.
Yes.
How come they didn't see the condition or the quality of the water in order to slow it down or to pause it and says, hey guys, we have a problem? Why allow it to get to the people?
That important point also. So right now GWI is doing that sort of review and investigation, because sometimes you get a breakdown. I mean, human errors and all of that. Plants
so you have to say that.
Yeah,
but
plant operators sleep away and all these kind of things.
At no one time anybody has says there's a human error involved. Everybody's saying alum needed and sedimentation and all these different things.
Right.
So there's and what I'm trying to say is, guys like you and Freddie and Akash, you come outside to the Western society, but Western society at most of the times operate on principles and laws. Guyana can get better. It's 800,000 people. Some cities in the Western society, it's 10 times the amount.
Correct.
And it's far much efficient and better. But in principle.
Correct. And we have to start respecting those laws and implementing them and living by them.
Exactly. You're going to go to India and you a different new ball game there.
Correct. I've had a taste of it already, so...
and 800 people is peanuts, extremely small peanuts to India.
It's a small
village. Guyana has much more potential, and we just can't depend on oil is going to get us out of where we are. We as the people have to get us out ourselves.
Well, you know, Carla, the oil can give you a bridge in 1 year, and it will take us a generation to change people's behavior towards garbage, let's say, for example.
Most definitely.
Right, so we'll be able to we'll complete a brand new 4-lane high-span bridge that will allow major ocean vessels to cross underneath next year, and we will still not be able to change people's mentality where garbage is concerned. So that's one of the huge challenge you're faced with, lifestyle, way of life, adherence to law, respect for the rule of law and stuff like that.
Bad culture.
And that has with our children.
Right. So hopefully, like I said, you might have to give up on this generation, or you might have to put 50% of them into the jail for not adhering to the laws that it should be. All right?
And all right, the time. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Carla, for coming through. Carla, good night. You're on the air.
Pleasant good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good night.
I hope I'm not off topic, but I just want to bring to your attention that there's and I've raised this with Freddie on a previous program, these modified exhausts that these youngsters are parading.
Oh my! If we had nipped that on the bud a year ago, it would have stopped. When these aberrations, these social aberrations come up, look, go on, sir, go on.
Freddie, there needs to be a law. And this law must take into consideration the inconvenience that old people, little infant children go through, and
animals,
how they are affected by these loud, backfiring exhaust. Let me tell you, there are companies that are selling these things. The youngsters, they're modifying their bikes. You know, police have a duty. So impound these bikes because it's a noise nuisance and there is a law. There is a noise nuisance law and this falls under that category.
We talked about this thing last year since Gildari was on this program.
Correct, Freddie. Correct.
I see it.
That's a no.
Nobody sees it more than me. I live opposite Massey Supermarket, Movie Town, and they're there every Sunday night. They're there.
Yeah, Freddie lives on the highway.
And you know the thing about it, gentlemen, is that the only thing that we could do now is probably go out on the picket line, go to a picket for the authorities to take action against this thing. Because the thing is that early morning, late at night, it's like a gun. You don't even know if people firing a weapon. How these things are loud, obnoxious, and very, very inconvenient. You know, the thing is that there's specific companies that are doing it. Them guys got high connections to this one and that one, and whenever you talk to the police, they say, look, we arrest a few of them, but calls come from higher people above to let them go. So, you know, there's nothing we could do. We are left to the mercies of these fools.
Chato's land.
Chato's land all again. But we need to put this to rest. There needs to be, I think the Attorney General, somebody needs to take some sort of plan to him. Let him know the gravity of the situation. Everybody's been affected. I mean, you know, it's not nice.
But these people do this. These people do this thing at 3 o'clock in the morning. I live on the railway embankment. No, that thing wakes you up. And we spoke about that. Then, you know, yesterday morning, what I saw about 6 policemen and 1 policewoman and a police inspector stopping people for motorcycle. And I tell you what, once dusk comes in, once it's after 7, you don't see those traffic cops on the road by the railway embankment. And those guys, about 10, 12, 15 of them riding motorcycles without helmets.
It's a struggle that we have to keep going at.
Chato's land, sir.
But we have to keep at it to get traffic police and ranks out there to pull these guys over. You know, unfortunately, the culture, you pass a Granger, you pass a towel, and then, you know, people get going. Thank you, caller, for coming in.
Bye-bye.
No, we can talk all night about this.
Okay,
I know.
Let's take this out of the call, sir. Thanks.
Caller, good evening. You're on the air. Hello?
Hello, good evening, Mr. Siraj, and to the panel.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I'm calling connection. You know, last week I heard someone talking about the bikes in Kitty.
Right.
Correct.
And they complained to the authority, like the local authority and anything. We got to stop bash these local authorities. Mm-hmm. Because you know something, these local authorities trying their best. It's over 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
The local authority of Lusignan East wrote to Mr. Edgel about the situation in Lusignan East. That matter went to the highest rank in Guyana, the highest place. All the ministers, about 5 or 6 ministers. Siraj, you know about this matter. People are living in fear, and nothing is happening there. Every time I talk to Anil is telling me they're looking for a lawyer to move the man from the government reserve. That man have a gas station, a filling station with that loads double axle truck there. Now you open a wash bay, a wash truck. Mr. Siraj, nobody is doing nothing.
Is this Farzan Street?
Right, sir. Nobody is doing nothing about this matter.
Well,
nothing.
Well, caller, I myself went there.
You see the situation that man
I had
did.
a confrontation.
Yes, sir.
With someone who represents, who I think is the brother of the person, the major culprit there.
Right,
and
sir.
I was taking some videos of the area and had a confrontation which almost got violent.
Wow. Oh, shoot, you need to get beat up, see what?
So
He could fight.
No, so I went there and I said that I'm not here to look after your comfort. I'm here to look after the interests of residents who have established some complaint. And I have since elevated that matter. I've gotten Minister Indar involved, and they're currently working on a strategy to get that. I understand about 6 or 7 of the bigger vehicles have been placed now in a lot that either belongs to the individual or someone else. But there have been some moves there. I was there 2 days ago and I saw some improvement, but some improvement is there's still a lot needs to be done. And I said that I know that a number of these the bigger vehicles were moved, but the place is still in a bad state. And what the AG had said too is that the council, this matter has even reached the court. The lawyer has withdrawn. The NDC have moved to take another lawyer, but there are authorities there, and Minister Indar did promise me some action in relation to this particular problem that is that involved the residents there of Lusignan East. But I visited there, sir.
I just want to say there's a container there for the past 6 years, and nobody know who that container belongs to.
They seize it and sell it for scrap metal. Is
Right next to Farzan is a container there over 6 years. It was moved there and put there by a man named Ganga for the construction of that lot. For the lot that you are talking about in the shopping.
Is it a 40-foot or a 20-foot?
A 40-foot.
Well, I'm looking for a 40-foot container. I might as well go there and move it and see. Then we'll know who it belongs to.
Right. The local authority told me they don't know who the container belongs to.
I'll move in there and take it. I have use for a 40-foot container.
How about you do that now?
Right,
I wish you do that for me.
It is a problem, and it has been a problem for quite a while. And apparently, this gentleman has been exercising some strong arm tactics with the locals there. And
He body nearly beat you up.
Come to me, I don't take stupidness from nobody.
See what's got he gun there.
So,
Mr. Siraj.
Yes, sir.
It is there before, a little bit before in the PNC government, but this in the PB government when it get after the construction and started, and these trucks and everything start to move, it get worse. I am saying something. We know Guyana is going a fast pace ahead.
That's right.
Unlike all other places in the world, when you have construction and heavy vehicle, they should not be in a residential area. You can't have a fuel station in a residential area.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I agree with you.
Mr. Anand Persaud know about this matter.
I spoke, let me tell you something too. I spoke with a gentleman who remigrated from the US. He actually had 2 choices, he told me. One choice was to go to Florida. The other choice was to come back to his family home in Lusignan. And the man made a decision to come to Lusignan. And now he regrets it because the peace and tranquility that he expected is not to be found, but he has already made substantial investment. His house was in near completion. Real nice house.
I know that man. I know that man.
So I expect that I will try my best.
He called him before. That man called him.
Right. And I spoke to him during my visit here. So I'll try my very best to bring some amount of comfort to people like those who made that decision to come here, and to enjoy some peace in their retirement.
Siraj, you know me.
Yes.
You know who's talking to you?
What?
I was there.
Okay.
I was there. I was the guy there.
Okay.
That take care and have a good night. Thanks for what you're doing.
All right, take care. Good. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming through.
Hello?
Hello? Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I would like to make a point concerning the wages and salary with the teachers union and the government. Recently, Mr. Jagdeo, the Vice President, had a press conference and he states that it will cost the government $12 billion over the 3 years period for the teachers. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would be about $4 billion a year, right? And that would equivalent of a 10%. I was wondering that recently the government went to Parliament for extra money for the Gaisuko, GPL and some other people. I don't have a problem with the government allocating more funds to Gaisuko. But the reality is that Gaisuko production is far below par. They don't produce and they're not making a profit. But I understand to keep the employees working, the government is doing a good thing. Right? I don't know if Mr. Siraj could tell me how much money the government went to Parliament for additional money for Gaisuko. I think it's about $6 billion or something like that.
Well, it was a big supplementary paper.
Yeah, but it was about $6 billion?
Right. I think it's just about $4 billion.
Right. And you see, that $4 billion supplementary plus Gaisuko already got billions in the budget. So what I'm saying, $12 billion in 3 years for the teachers, right?
Right.
We're talking about 10%. Why can't the government just find another $12 billion and that would give the teachers like 20% for the 3 years?
Well, I don't know the numbers, caller, and the negotiation is ongoing. I think they started at 6.5. They're somewhere up to 10% now. 6.5 from one end and 20% from the other end. So right now they're at the halfway mark. So they have been making some amount of progress. I think there's a willingness there to settle this matter before the new term open. But Carl, I want you to bear in mind also that a supplemental budget going to offset the increase in the cost of fuel for GPL to have lights in all our homes, benefit all of us, students, teachers, and all of us. Right? Now, I'm also going to tell you that wherever support goes to Gaisuko benefits not only the people directly with Gaisuko, but also communities, because Gaisuko is a multifunctional entity that provides sports facilities, medical facilities, drainage and irrigation facility for communities. And I might remind you too that at one time Gaisuko used to support all of us in Guyana here.
That's what I'm saying.
Used to be King Sugar.
Disagreement.
Right. So
Gaisuko getting
right. So the supplementary funding to Gaisuko will also have a lot of.
He said he wasn't in disagreement with Gaisuko.
Right. So there are also a lot of households there, sugar households, that have people who are teaching and have people who are going to school. So I think that the point you're making too is that you're not against that, but you're in favor for them, just like how the government find money for GPL and Gaisuko, you can find money also for wages and salary. And indeed, like I said, they started at 6.5 and they're up to 10%. So you have to look at the...
I think the government said that's the final offer. 10.
Well, you know how negotiation goes, so that you come out with your best hand, and if that's the final offer, the teachers union and the teachers themselves have to be convinced by way of argument. You just can't say 10 without saying, well, how am I going to make this 10 work? What are the factors contributing to restraining me to 10? I would like to go 20, but this is what I can do now. So I myself am not fully au fait with how the negotiations have been going. I know, like I said, that one side started at 6.5 and the other side started at 20. And I know also that currently it's up to 10.
Yes, but I agree with you. But I'm of the opinion that the government can lean backwards. We have the funds for that. Another 12 billion would settle the teachers' problem, because the teachers said they're willing to accept 20%. And that agreement could be signed tomorrow. The government has that money. Remember, the teachers is the molders of the country, and consideration should be given to them. The government have the money. It's not saying you don't have the money. You have money. You have that money, 12 billion. The government can, find to pay the teachers and make them comfortable, and it would benefit the whole country as a whole.
Well, like I said, I don't know how much 20% will cost, and I don't know whether the government has that money. I mean, you're saying that. I will depend on the Minister of Finance for to advise me on how much they can afford and over a period of time.
The Vice President said that for the 3 years it would cost 12 billion. And it's at 10%. So I'm saying another 10, 12 billion would carry it to 20%. That's the basic figures. So the government has to find another 12 billion. And I'm saying they have the money, they have the capacity to do that, because when they go to the Natural Resources Fund for funds, it has money in there. Why they can't go and take 12 billion from there?
Well, there must be some reason. Like I said, I'm not over with that.
Sir.
But
there's no reason. I feel if the government wants to do that, they can go to the Natural Resources Fund and get from another 12 billion to end this whole...
Right, so when the Vice President said it will cost $12 billion, did he say why they can't afford the $12 billion?
No, he didn't say that.
Well, I'm certain you probably missed that part, but I'm certain you would have said why it's not sustainable at this point in time, and why is it that they could go for 10%. The Vice President is a trade economist.
No.
And I won't, like I said, I won't venture into areas that I'm not totally knowledgeable about. All I'm saying is that based on arguments back and forth.
Go to the Natural Resources Fund for extra fund. The government went there about 3 times for the year already.
Then they probably gone with all of it.
No, sir. You're in Parliament. You should know that the Natural Resource Fund has almost $100 billion in it.
But you just can't call numbers like that. The Natural Resource Fund cannot have several $100 billion in it.
$100, yes, sir. Right now, you check the records.
Well, I'll check it, but as I'm telling you, as of now, once the Vice President is on record of saying it will cost $12 billion, he would have explained why it is that it cannot be afforded right now, because
he didn't explain that at this press conference. He said that it would cost the government $12 billion. He didn't say that the government don't have the capacity for more.
Well, obviously the government doesn't have the capacity, or else they would have paid it, because they're stuck at 10. And I'm certain the government want the teachers to be comfortable.
You, sir, when the government wants funds, they go to the Natural Resource Fund.
And something must be preventing them, because like I said, they went there for GPL and the other agencies and so on, and for road infrastructure, a number of places.
They went to the Natural Resource Fund.
Right, and I'm saying that the competent authority to say whether they could afford it or not would be the Minister of Finance, who have all these figures up his sleeve.
Sir, but it's looking like a discrimination now, because when you walk...
I know you're leading up easing into that one, but I'm telling you, certainly it cannot be discrimination. The government has been very, very accommodating to the teachers.
Because if you could go for funds for other things, and you cannot go for funds for the teachers, I don't see...
Well, the 10% got to come from somewhere.
Yes,
you think it's going to come out of thin air? The 10% got to come from somewhere, and it got to be sustainable. You can take all the money, sir, and pay them for 1 year, and then next year you have nothing.
It's not all the money. It's $12 more billion. That's joke. Compared to the budget, it's over $1 trillion. So don't tell me you can pay the teachers.
All I'm saying is that based on what you are saying, that the Vice President said that it's $12 billion, and I'm certain the Vice President said that because he would have gone on to say the $12 billion we can't afford.
Okay, can we move on?
Yes. Thank you.
Good. Well, thank you for coming through.
Thanks. Please call again next week.
Good evening, call. You're live on here.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
You have to lower your volume, son.
Hello?
Yes, you're live on air. Go ahead.
Okay, the 3 amigos.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
trying to help you guys out there to figure out that the guy who is trying to get the natural resource fund for the teachers.
Yes, $12 billion.
I'm trying to ask him if only teachers alone is in Guyana. They have other sector of people there. So when they increase one set, the other gonna cry foul, and everybody has to get money. Everybody wants the money. What's going to be happening there is these people blight everything they say, all money, all money, all money. The opposition is saying, we can't eat road, we can't eat hospital. Hey, it is not the PPP alone walk on the road or the PPP alone go into the hospital. It's the entire Guyana. And what I think that the government has to do is let them know that everything is done for the people of Guyana, not for one sector that debarred from the other sector. It's for the true Guyanese. The all money is coming, it's a blessing. All those people who live out of Guyana and wants to suffocate Guyana, no, we shouldn't do this. In Canada, we got the oil sun in Calgary. Not one person say about pollution or anything of the sort. The Americans going to the Arctic. They're drilling. Donald Trump said, drill, drill, drill. I don't know where he's drilling today. But these are the problems. They got everybody want to beat up on a little country like Guyana, and all the exports were left Guyana 40 years ago got an opinion. And these are the people.
That is correct. And you have a lot of exports
Guyana.
around.
That's the people. Guyana, we were living to have a loaf of bread. To get to potato, we go to jail in my 80s when I left Guyana. Today you can walk in any supermarket and you get a whole cart running out. Those days we had nothing, was empty shelves at Guyana store. Where are all these technical ambassadors and specialists that we got today? Where they were 50 years ago when the Guyana was the poorest country in the Caribbean.
In the Western Hemisphere. Well, we do have our history, and like I was explaining to the caller, there is the issue of sustainability. You cannot enter into an expenditure that is of a recurrent nature without addressing the sustenance of that arrangement. This is not a one-off capital expenditure.
That we do it today. Yes, you do it today. What next year?
Correct. And I'm certain that the Vice President would have made that point. That salary is a recurrent expenditure. If you pay it this year, you must pay it next year. An infrastructure project is a one-off capital investment. You build a road and you go on, your expense done. Wages and salary, you got to keep paying it week after week, month after month. And that is why the sustainability factor is built into the negotiations.
Right. But another thing that I was looking at the way you guys were showing, Freddie and Akash.
Yes.
It's depressing. I know Guyana is depressing there as all the garbage below. But you guys spice it up. Show us something in Canada and America and England and anything, some beautiful sites. If you show 5 bad things, show 5 good things also to measure it. Say, well, this is where we're heading. This is what the Guyanese people are doing. And you be the judge.
Caller, look. Since you talked about that, I'm putting it on the screen right now to show you.
Excellent point.
Watch. This was done, a drone footage was done 2 mornings ago by the guys from TBNC. Look at the Demerara Harbor Bridge and look at how this sunrise. And look at the new Demerara Harbor Bridge next to it. This is beauty. This is what the country is. This is what we want to see, man. Look at it right now. It's showing there.
Every time
sunrise on the Demerara River.
Show 5 bad things, show 5 good things, and let the people decide. Here's 5 and 5, not 3 and 2 for being.
Good point.
Say that you don't understand it. Show 5 good, show 5 bad, and show where we're heading. And if everybody wants to go where we're heading in the garbage, do it. If you want to show better, show the good thing. The garbage, I would leave it right there to rot the neighborhood. that is rotting. Let they be the policeman, because you don't put camera. If somebody got dumped in by me, I have to come out and talk because it stinks on my neighborhood. We are the ones who got to represent our neighborhood. And if you got garbage dumping, these people are stinking, like I said many times. You come out to Canada and America, the same Guyanese coming out to Canada and America, guess what? You got a tin pop. You're going to walk for the garbage. My wife walks 2 blocks to get a garbage tin because I want a tin of pop when I came Pagua in Guyana there. We go to the stadium, and I was going to throw it, shut up, don't do that, let's move it to the spot where it's supposed to be. We're cultured. But the people there, they will not do it because our tax money is spending.
Okay, Carla. Definitely. Well, we spoke about that, the change in culture and behavior and all of that.
That's right. And the government and the city council got in Georgetown and Linden and all over the place. Let's let them look bad because we not get no money from them. Let me show them how we can damage their reputation.
Okay, Carla. Thank you very much.
Political.
Thanks for coming through.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Kissoon and Akash.
Mr. Siraj.
And the Honorable Member of Parliament, Darren Kumar Siraj.
I listen to a guy they're talking about teachers and teachers. All what they're talking, some of them is just Facebook warriors. Some of them, they don't even know math. You see the vice president and the PPP trying all what they're talking about teachers and teachers and teachers. The teachers negotiation is, I would say, is political. No matter, but here what is my solution. Let me subcontract out all the schools. Subcontract, let the same head teachers and them subcontract all the school and let them bring the teachers. Don't train the teachers like what does that happen outside. In America and Canada and them place, they don't train teachers. Teachers got to go and train themselves. I sure Mr. Kissoon know that. They got to go and educate themselves and don't go teach. The teachers and nurses don't train themselves in them place. They've got to go and educate themselves, train themselves, and then come back and teach. Why you believe these big countries take advantage on these small countries, come and grab all the nurses and things and go on the way?
The brain drain syndrome.
That's what I'm telling you. That all of them with the thing, stop out the school, let them say, get the same teachers and things, stop them out, let the teachers go and let them go and educate themselves because some of them ain't got maths and English and they saying their thing and this young generation teacher is madness. Oh, Jesus Christ, pass man. Talk off and left off.
Okay then.
Good.
Thanks for coming through.
Well, on the issue, you mean the government has a commitment.
You got to call it?
Yeah, you got to call it. Good evening, Collie. You're live on air.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good night, sir.
I was just calling to say I was very impressed with the projected Mahaika Meadows project, which was fully discussed during last week's Wednesday's show. Innovative and creative housing projects like this, offering security, convenience, comfort, social facilities, and peace of mind, will undoubtedly encourage remigration, especially from so many migrants who truly desire to return to Guyana but were hesitating, also because of quite understandable security concerns, which is one of the main issues discouraging remigration to Guyana.
Right.
All slots at the Mahaika Meadows project being offered for sale for just 5.2 million Guyana dollars. Unlike most gated communities and probably the projected Silica City, is a real deal that would also attract migrants. Innovative and economically realistic housing projects like Mahaika Meadows, offering security among other modern facilities, is surely the way to overcome the security concerns of overseas Guyanese desiring to return to the homeland.
Well, the company they have a booth there at the Building Expo, and they were explaining to persons, and they showed that they have already have a high occupancy rate, and so things are going well with them because they have they have a good product based on what they're saying. So
Exactly.
let's wish them all the very best, because I mean, we need to offer high quality comfort home and of course security for our people, and a gated community is one of the way to go. So there are a number of gated communities that have already been developed. Some are striving, some are way advanced. This is one that is in its infant stage now, and we wish them all the best.
Yeah, and just to continue, Minister, while hospitals in Guyana, I believe, are offering free health care at the moment to everyone, another thing that I believe would attract retired, like in this case, retired pensioners to Guyana is, like super pensions, but and not just the pittance being currently offered right now. Surely, with the continued
I hope people are not coming back for pension, so we don't want people to come back here for pension. We want them to come back to contribute to the development of our country.
To
I mean, you can't work your entire life over there to build another country and then come here for my pension.
Well, let's make it a reasonably increased pension, man. You know what I mean? And that would certainly attract people. Among other things,
why do we migrants need pension? I need pension. I haven't gone anywhere. But why would we migrants need pension?
Well, most of them would have their funds and so, but I'm talking about. I mean, they can always
do plenty of them coming here for pension now.
To live in a country like Guyana.
I think that's the pension now, 35,000. Yeah, before was 8 and 5.
Well,
and
it's okay. It's basically.
I know a lot of people coming back and asking for pension.
I want to go.
It's basically chicken feed right now.
Yeah.
And I know there are other issues that the government has to deal with. I can understand that, but I'm just making a point, and I just like to finish what I'm saying, please.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
So I'm saying that it's not just the pay currently offered, but surely the continued good common sense of the authorities, with the continued good common sense of the authorities, priorities should be focused on expediting the pensions, and hopefully around 2027, they would get a better deal, right? Finally,
right now, I would say this government should make things attractive for young people to come back to work here.
Well, yeah, of
Put in
course,
those
Minister.
conditions to come to help develop our country.
Yes, and finally, I
And
wish
we
to
look at the pension,
congratulate you.
definitely.
Finally, I wish to congratulate you, sir, on your upcoming appointment as High Commissioner to India.
Well,
I wish you all the best. All right, all the best to you, Freddie, and Akash.
Good.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful rest of the evening, sir.
Hello.
Good night.
Go ahead, you're on the air.
This teacher strike.
Right.
I don't understand this. The government can't pay 25% or 20%. It is too high, man. Before you pay the teachers that money, let me get the children the money go to school, and let the private school go to school. Because who will pay 20%? The party war again 20% increase like that. You understand? It is unfair. Everything you take from the funds, then you get teachers 20, you got to get police 20, you got to get public service 20. Where left in? What support the country in? What building infrastructure in?
Well, I think that is the point that the government was making, and like I said earlier, wages and salary, you have to find it week after week and month after month, year after year. It's a recurrent expenditure that you must build sustainability into it.
I don't know how they think. I don't know how people think.
Well, some of us would like to think to have it all this year and then nothing next year.
Not rent cutting. That's why many companies close down. Because when you pay the staff, you don't have the resources to back up the staff back.
Well, we have to ensure that people have a living wage too, You just, people must have a decent salary.
Not that money.
Right.
I can give it to 20%. I got to give it police 20%. Everybody can lose 20%.
Right. But I'm certain the government will pay 20% if they have the money to do it.
I give you excess money.
Right, but if you don't
have the money, give you 20% then.
Yeah, but if you don't have it, you can't pay it. Or if you pay this year, then you'll collapse next year.
Did you ever check out when you get 5% increase or 10% increase, how much NIS, how much union bill to pay? How much did union get back from them? They ever check it? The union fees raise up when they get raise the pay. They must check it, you know.
Correct.
One more thing before I go. In Pout, in West, where the school is, they built a fine road there. But to break that bridge, and school is going to open. When they're going to repair back that thing for that train go down. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, so let's take this other call. Time.
All right, good.
Good evening, call. You're live on air.
Hello?
Yes, good evening, call. You're live on air.
Good evening, sir. I'm calling to make a complaint about my grandma's survivor benefit. My grandfather passed away. There's going to be 2 years already. And she had applied for her survivor benefit. And until now, nothing has been done.
That's NIS, right?
Pardon me?
That's from the NIS, right?
Yes. Every time we call to check up how it's going, if it's ready to her, if the book is ready for her to pick up, they keep telling us, no, they're working on it. And when we call now, they tell us they want ID card. When we send the ID card, they want something else. Every time you produce that other document, they need another document. So I don't know what's really going on. And my grandma is actually 89 years already. I don't know when they're going to give her the survivor benefit.
I hope they're not waiting for your grandmother to die and then they won't have to pay her.
Well, actually, that is what I was about to say. Maybe that's what I'm waiting for.
Could you make effort to see Dr. Ashley Singh, who is the chairman of the NIS board? He normally do outreaches into different communities. You can also keep your eyes open for that. But I would suggest that you make some effort to go and see Dr. Ashley Singh and to lay this problem out to him, because he is the chair, and I know he has assisted a number of persons in this regard.
But it's not easy to see a minister, you know.
Okay?
If it's the days that they set aside to meet the public, but if it's not so, when you go there, you won't get to
give me the secretary, they take notes and so on to pass it on.
Okay, so that is in Georgetown. They don't have somewhere in Berbice that they come and then you can...
Well, I know Dr. Singh was out in Berbice in Region 6 with outreaches for NIS, where he had NIS people here. They spend the day at, I think, some school here to take complaints from, because this problem affects people across Guyana.
I know, because
that's why I'm advising that you keep your eyes open. Make some effort to see him. If you're in Berbice, there must be a local NIS facility there. And, to get this thing done. If your grandmother is 89 years old, we got to get the ladies
Since we started this program, there's been an NIS. The government need to set up an NIS thing with someone in authority. Because ministers are busy people. You can't expect.
The part of his business is to go there with the NIS team and sit down in people's locality and meet hundreds of people.
Thing, oh my goodness.
I know, because that's way too long, over 2 years, and she's 89 years. When they're going to give her when she passed away?
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm afraid that I don't.
Siraj, please look into this, man.
So they will have to. Yeah. So
every time we go, it's something else they need. When we produce that, it's another document they need. Every time, that's how they keep us.
Right, but do you have any documents from the NIS?
Yes, we went. We took her to Georgetown, the head office, and we did all the transaction there.
So what documents you have from NIS? You have any letter from NIS?
Yes, I think my aunt collected the letter from NIS.
Right, so you need to get that letter, copy of that letter down to us and make some effort to see Dr. Ashley Singh. Don't waste time with these NIS people. Go and see the political people, and they are the ones hunting for votes.
I know. And how is it possible? Is there any number that I could call and get onto them? Because I don't really know where the office is located. So if I could get a number to call and get some more information, then I can make some arrangements.
Well, ma'am, the Ministry of Finance numbers are listed. They are there. If you go on Google, you'll find it there.
Okay.
Ministry of Finance. We have 2 numbers on your screen there. I think you should get a
What's
copy.
wrong with them?
Get a copy of the letter. I'm saying I'm afraid I don't want to think that they're waiting for the woman to die before they and then they said.
But it's certainly heading that way.
As cynical as it may that.
Yes.
Right. So the 2 numbers you have there, get a picture of the last letter you get from them. Send it to either one of those numbers. We'll try to see what we can do. In the meantime, you call the Ministry of Finance number and try to get an appointment to see Ashley Singh. And you can also, if you're in Region 6, go and see the regional chairman there, Mr. David Armagon.
Okay.
And he will make efforts to talk to the people in NIS there.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
I hope
Thank
you'll
you
be
so
able to
much.
get through and send that copy of that letter to us.
Okay, definitely. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Good evening.
And you can also, if you're in Region 6, go and see the regional chairman there, Mr. David Armagon.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Evening. Turn the device in the background down, please.
Hello?
Yes,
go ahead.
madam.
Yes. Thank you. Freddie.
Yeah, but the device is playing in the background.
We can't hear you because we're hearing ourselves on your phone.
Let's take another call.
Hello, turn it down, please. Please turn down your volume. We're hearing ourselves and not you. Turn down your phone or your TV. Hello.
We can't hear you because we're hearing.
We got another call here for Siraj.
Caller, good night. You're on the air.
Yes, Mr. Siraj. I see the teachers got somebody negotiate, but when you get so old and ugly like this lady, which she says she's representing the teachers, she shouldn't be on the program. Send somebody else, young man. I don't like ugly people run the show, you know.
Man, don't be careful with your language,
I
man.
don't like ugly people run the show, Mr. You can't vex with me.
So be careful with your language.
Yeah, not language. I said I don't like ugly people run the show in this place. When they get old, they must never one side. Their face ain't looking good.
No. I can't accept that. So we treat humans using better language than that. Thanks for coming through. Bye-bye.
While we're taking the last caller, so put up this thing on the screen. This is on the West Bank next to the Harbor Bridge. The Chinese are building a beautiful park there, Freddie. And the work has started there already. It's looking amazing. This is from the president's page.
Let's take this call. There, you got that?
Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, our time has come. You're the last caller. So could you be quick? It's 10 o'clock. We finish at 10. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. You're the last caller.
Pleasant good night to all.
Yes.
Good night.
Let me just touch on the garbage problem. Guyana has been suffering. I mentioned this before with a garbage problem for the past 50 years, and it continues. It's all because of politics. We politicians start rising up and stop playing political games. Everybody wants to score political points and look good. Why is the Guyanese people are submerging in garbage? It's time the government do something positive about it and forget about it. We know that the PNC cannot run a country. It clearly shows if you can't manage garbage, you can't manage a country.
Okay.
Time the PVP government take control of this garbage.
Okay, sure. Our time has come. Let's take one last call.
One last call here. Hold on. Let me get this guy. Good evening, colleague. Good evening, colleague.
Very quickly.
You're live on air. Very shortly, please.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good evening. You're live on air. We run out of time. You're the last caller.
Where we gotta go? Akash, you want to say anything before?
I just want to say, man, that a lot is happening. The national cleanup is happening tomorrow. The president will be on the ground cleaning tomorrow. The ministers will be out there cleaning tomorrow. I'll be out there with my camera doing some work. And I really hope that when the place is clean, man, don't throw the thing back right there again. Just put it in a bin. Take it away. Don't do it. We have an opportunity to, now that the place will be clean tomorrow, we have an opportunity to to take this forward. Let's do the right thing.
Siraj?
Well, unfortunately, the people who are the culprits are probably not part of our audience. So we're talking to the people.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I hope that they pass it on, man.
Yeah, but we need more enforcement of penalties for wrongdoing, especially in the area of littering.
Okay.
And dumping of garbage.
We don't want to be accused of labor exploitation. Our operators have to go home. It's 4 minutes past 10. We didn't get any call from the subject matter of the title of our program. Call in and support local production. Nobody called in about that. We have to support local production. We will see you on Monday. There is a program on Monday as usual. On behalf of Member of Parliament Dharam Kumar Siraj, aka Rusty Man, but that is only for tonight. The waters come back normal. And Akash, catch you later, man. Bye-bye.